Hello, my name is Desmond and I'm going to be talking to you about distributed solutions today in this presentation. Distributed computing is computing of the future. The logic is simple. The science is difficult, but with a little help, it can be understood with a little computer knowledge. One computer has a maximum amount of data it can process at any given moment, thus equating to a maximum amount of information it can process in a day. In theory, two computers with the same processor can have the time it takes to complete a task by dividing up the data set, resulting in each computer handling a smaller portion of the larger set. By linking one computer with another computer, the speeds at which information can be processed is doubled. This is used in scientific research and in the corporate world to sort and solve big data entries.
Hey man, what are you working on?
I'm working on my computer science paper about distributed solutions.
What are distributed solutions?
To explain in a simple summary, distributed solution is the process taken by a network to divvy up the workload.
What are some examples of distributed solutions?
Distributed solutions come in many forms. Anytime work is divided amongst computers to meet specific needs, that becomes a distributed network.
What's a distributed network?
Anything that involves a server is a distributed network. When you're playing online games like Madden, Call of Duty, or Grand Theft Auto 5, you are using the networks that divide up the lobbies with servers.
What's so beneficial about using many servers as opposed to one grand server?
To quote Wikipedia with an analogy, think of cars. One car traveling at 100 miles per hour for an hour will cover 100 miles, but four cars traveling at 70 miles per hour for an hour will cover only 70 miles each, but together they will each cover a total of 280 miles. When you add more cars being players, the speeds and efficiency of the network decrease, but if you add more servers or lanes on a highway, the congestion decreases, allowing for optimal play.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's what makes the GTA 5 network run so well, but it's also what made the development of the game time-consuming and very costly. Every online role-playing game uses servers to deal with traffic. Games dating back to Club Penguin, RuneScape, and the time mode classic of World of Warcraft all use servers.
Nice. Good to know.
Have you ever heard of distributed solutions? If you have never heard of distributed solutions or distributed computing before, you are not alone. In a survey conducted by Desmond via Facebook, only 8% of those surveyed, 2 of the 24 users, answered yes to this question. Have you ever heard of distributed solutions? Due to this gap in the digital divide, the intent of this presentation is intended to inform and educate the world of what distributed solutions are, the usage of distributed solutions, and the field of distributed computing. Here is the survey that Desmond pulled via Facebook. And the first question is, have you ever heard of distributed solutions? Distributed solutions are used every day and are used commonly among us. You would be surprised if you knew the wide range used in the modern world. The second question was, are you proficient with Microsoft Excel? The third question was, do you use Google Docs? And the final question was, how would you rate your computer knowledge? Here is the graph of the first question, have you ever heard of distributed solutions? Here is the graph of the second question, are you proficient with Microsoft Excel? With 83% answering yes and 16% answering maybe. The final question is here. Do you use Google Docs? This question had a yes rate of 54%, a maybe percentage of 25%, and a no percentage of 20%. The holy grail of physics has possibly been developed after years of experiments. The Large Hadron Collider, located near Geneva, Switzerland, is providing science with in-depth analysis of the Higgs boson, yielding massive amounts of data to the tune of 60,000 trillion bytes, 60 petabytes, produced by colliding subatomic particles over the course of 4 years in the making of experiments has required enormous computer power in order to process the large data set. When presented with a problem of this magnitude, science has two options. build a large supercomputer at the expense of potential grant money and resources, or create a massive grid of interlinked computers spanning 174 facilities in 40 countries. Science chose the latter, resulting in facilities spread across the world, commonly at universities or research institutes, breaking down large data sets provided by the Large Hadron Collider. Facilities are located throughout the United States, with 3 located in the New England, all located in Boston, Massachusetts at the University of Harvard, Boston University, and Massachusetts Institute of Technology, respectively. Through the use of distributed solutions, anybody can harness the power of a plethora of computers to create their own supercomputer. Organizations have been developed that seek out computer owners who are willing to donate their PC's processing power when their machines are not in use. Volunteers are asked to donate their old PCs or to install software that allows access to the computer's processing system. While installed, the computer will only be used for distributed computing when it is not being used by the owner. This allows for anyone to register and attain the capabilities to run advanced calculations. The only catch is finding the computers or volunteers to harness the processing. The other catch is the advanced computer knowledge required to perform such a task. Call of Duty is a popular video game franchise that utilizes the server setup of Microsoft and Sony to provide games with a new gaming experience. Online gaming was pushed to the limits in 2009 when Modern Warfare 2 was released. The game was a masterpiece that set records for gross sales and product purchases for a video game. The game touched upon every aspect gamers liked and continued to actively release new content and patch old content. What made the game great was the servers that divided up gameplay. With over 10 lobbies to choose from, the game had a large load to handle with a peak in 2012 of 11,000 players. The game had used interlinked servers on a main server farm to handle the traffic poised by the game base. This game broke the record for money invested into video games, but it did not disappoint. The game was well developed and was prepared to handle the massive amount of traffic it attracted. This provided smooth play, allowing users to continue gaming for long periods of time. The future of distributed solutions and distributed computing reaches beyond simple video game servers. The division of data reaches outside the field of physics and into the medical field in efforts to cure AIDS, Ebola, and cancer. IBM has invested money into the World Community Grid, very similar to the grid used by the Large Hadron Collider, in order to provide advanced computing to medical researchers. The answer to these questions are not obtainable using a standard computer or supercomputer, but with the World Community Grid and its 1.8 million connected PCs, testing and research may be able to yield a cure, treatment, or simply a breakthrough to the disease. Distributed solutions has an interesting relationship to CSS. Although it is not exactly used for the purposes of computing on a smaller scale of HTML, it teaches students about the larger scales that can be provided through distributed solutions. Another example is the URI Secure Network, which connects students to the Wi-Fi. The final aspect of distributed solutions is computing on the cloud has become a variation of distributed solutions. In conclusion, distributed solutions and distributed computing are used every day in real-world applications to increase computer efficiency. Without distributed computing, servers, networks, and research would not be able to perform the complicated tasks required to operate. It is because of this that distributed computing has become a newly vital importance to the digital industry. Information is being shared between computers, and with the emergence of cloud-based computing, peer-to-peer distributed solutions are now being undertaken by people from around the world to solve various problems or assist in the breakdown of data. Big data is becoming a hot topic in the modern digital age, and people are not sure what will come from the pool of information. What can be determined is the amount of information will exceed the processors, resulting in a need for an advanced system of interlinked computers that can manage to process the information. This is the future of distributed computing and the direction that the computer industry will undertake. Until then, The standard processors shall be adequate for the information handled by the standard professional. My semester in CSS 101 has helped me to understand the HTML format and the website coding. I am now proficient in the basics of website editing and the common tags required to operate a basic HTML page. I can only attribute this to my persistence in CSS 101 and the effort I put forth this semester in learning the new material. I am eager to educate others and help to inform my peers on the possibilities that can be performed using distributed computing. The most important skill I have obtained is my understanding how websites operate. I now understand certain layouts can be achieved and how embedding videos is performed. All in all, I am ready to test my skills in a professional job setting.